Oh, Friday the 13th, Part 5, or A New Beginning, or whatever you want to call it. Personally, I call it
Shit.
I mean, it is a Friday the 13th movie, so I definitely have love for it, but there is a reason why this is a lot of people's least favorite of the franchise, and that main reason is Roy. Ugh, Roy. I mean, he's just not Voorhees. I applaud the idea of the producers for trying something different, but the whole concept of a copycat is just not what people wanted to see. I was even debating not counting this particular installment, and had there been a major amount of discrepancies, I might have, but in the end, these aren't the rules for the Voorhees murders, these are the rules for the Friday the 13th movies. So, without further ado, let's dive right in, as the body count in this one is easily the highest by far, so we have quite a few bodies and rules to sort through, so hold on to your butts because it's time to figure out the rules to surviving Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. As always, let's do a quick recap of where we are rules-wise after 4 installments, and at this point we only have 2 rules in double digits, with number 1, keep it in your pants, and number 4, no hanging with Puff. Will we find any others joining them? Let's find out!
Make your way to the fighting pits!
Okay, just like we had to take Roy into consideration, we have to take these two morons as well. See, this entire opening is just a dream sequence, and as much as I want my dreams, especially that one featuring Jordan from Real Genius asking for my assistance,
Do you want to help test my rebreather?
sadly, kills that take place in dreams are not real, so they don't count.
We'll see, bitch. We'll just see.
Calm down, Freddy. We're gonna get to you in due time. But in an effort to appease the Dream Master, if these two were gonna be counted, it would be for breaking rule number 6, use your brain. Let's watch these two Einsteins in action.
Let's rip this sucker open! Gotta get a look at the main man.
That is just a taste of the unbearable characters we have coming up in this movie. What exactly is the best case scenario one could expect out of digging up the grave of a supernatural killing machine? I mean, it's not like the main Friday the 13th protagonist is going to do that in any future installments. Hold on, I'm getting a call. It's my baby video producer. No, I haven't seen part 6. No, I'm not willing to hold off any prognostications, as there's no way in hell Tommy Jarvis is going to attempt to dig up Jason Voorhees. Case closed, end of story, period. Moving on. Okay, for the first kill, we have Joey, and good God, here we go again.
Sweet, sassy molassie.
We're only through the first official kill, and there are 18 different asterisks we have to include in this rule set. Joey marks the first time that someone was killed in a Friday movie without it being from the main villain of the piece, getting axe murdered in the early scenes of the movie by Vic, who's clearly in need of some anger management classes.
Leave me alone!
Who's from a goose blah blah.
Why did Joey have to die? Rule number 3, no one likes a clown. Joey is another in the long line of comic relief in Friday films that aren't really that humorous, as he walks around accidentally smearing chocolate on fresh laundry and waving candy bars in the face of someone who clearly wants none of it. Okay, now we are cooking with fire, finally getting to our first fake Jason kills with Vinny and Pete, who run to our faux Voorhees after some car trouble. With their leather jackets and greased back hair, it's pretty clear these two are part of some teenage punk group up to no good. But Vinny is also guilty of another sin, use your brain. Let's have a quick look at his death.
Did you cut it out? Pete!
Okay, now here are some other much more famous instances of films using flares. Call me ignorant, but unless that flare was put directly into his face, Vinny should have been able to identify that was a hockey mask wearing maniac, not his BFF. As for Pete, he's only the most unbearable character in the franchise up to this point.
What you doing up there, Vinny? Rudy, rat-tat-tat-tat-2 Woo! All right, and we're off. Let's go!
After getting rid of Pete, I'm definitely starting to think Roy may be getting a bad rap. On to another 2 completely unlikable characters with Lana the waitress and Billy the Micro Machines pitchman.
This is the Micro Machine Man, presenting the most midget miniature motorcade of Micro Machines. Each one has dramatic details, terrific trim, precision paint jobs, plus incredible Micro Machine pocket plate.
Okay, thank you, that is enough. Now these two both verbally confirmed their intentions to go off and have some sexy time, and as well on-screen sample some nose candy. Now as far as for simplicity's sake, we're going to say that rule number 4, no hanging with Puff, is a catch-all rule for anything that dumb man considers illegal substances. Moving on quickly, they both meet the business end of an axe, and the world is a better place for it. Next up is Raymond, who is hands down the most unnecessary character thus far and most likely in all the Friday movies. From what I can tell, apart from padding the body count, he serves two purposes: cleaning up chicken shit and being a prevert spying on Tina and Eddie. Shame on the writers for this totally unnecessary character.
Shame. Shame.
Then come the teen couple that Raymond was spying on, making Whoopi, Tina, and Eddie, who obviously break rule number 1, but are also guilty of lighting up that sticky icky. These two do have slightly more personality than some of the disposable Friday couples, with Eddie being a real asshole and Tina playing the ditzy girlfriend role to perfection. Plus, the actress's name is Debbie Sue Voorhees, so it's almost meant to be, before they're both hideously murdered. The general theme of victims being killed off in pairs continues with Anita and Demon. They are both guilty of breaking rule number 4, but Demon is also a double rule breaker as we introduce new rule number 12. Don't star in Juwanna Man. Okay, I'm not actually serious here with this new rule, but for the love of God, Hollywood, please never make a movie like Juwanna Man again. Literally, I will do anything.
I will literally suck your dick right now.
I'll cradle the balls, stroke the shaft, work the pipe, and swallow the gravy. Get it over here, buddy. Let's do this.
Hey, guess what? We have another pairing of victims with Ethel and Junior, who are both guilty of being what would qualify as comic relief in Friday Part 5, except they are not funny, only serving to annoy. Let's have a quick recap of some of their so-called comedic hijinks.
I'm gonna chop you into itty-bitty little pieces, my friend. Just like they done to that pig-o over there at that fucking crazy farm. I got a bomb on me. I swear to you. You make one move toward me, I'm gonna blow us all up. Start the engines, Junior.
You tell him, Ma!
Did you find any of that funny? Neither did I, but at least we suffered together. We're also going to strike Ethel down with breaking rule number 7. If you're an authority, don't be a dick. Pretty clear she holds a lot of sway over Junior, so let's listen to some of the choice language she has for him.
Would you shut the fuck up? You big dildo. Eat your fucking slop. Would you shut your trap? You ain't so pretty yourself,
This movie is chock-a-block full of annoying characters, but seeing these two meet their end is some of the best horror fan service one could hope for. Getting back to our troubled teens, we have Jack, who falls victim to rule number 1 and teenage lust when he tries coming onto Robin.
I really do want to be with you. I want to make love with you.
He goes upstairs and cries about it for a minute before getting face to face with a meat cleaver. Please, future campers out there, control your urges.
Drove me so hard, they drove me so stupid.
Our next victim is Robin, and it's time for another Friday fun fact. I was always curious why she burst into laughter after Jake hit on her. I always just thought she was an insensitive jerk, but it turns out she has a disorder in which she cannot help but laugh during inappropriate situations. So she's not a jerk, but what she definitely is, guilty of breaking rule number 6, use your brain. As a past bunk bed connoisseur, I can speak from experience that A, the beds are small as hell, and there's no way you would climb into one without realizing there's a dead body there, and B, you have to be ditzy as hell not to notice there's someone on the bottom bunk when you're climbing in, which is where Roy was laying in wait for this machete attack. Sorry not sorry, Robin, you just have to be more savvy than that. Oh god, no, I was dreading this one. Next up is Violet, my personal Friday franchise crush. She runs a pretty clean game. I don't see where she's dancing. But damn it, there's some pretty sick moves. Surely she can be spared, and I can take her out to Bob's Big Boy. Okay, never mind. I don't think she's gonna get up from that. R.I.P. Violet. I don't think my heart is ever gonna recover from this one. Duke is our next victim, and let's just have a look-see at his behavior.
Bunch of pussies.
Come on, Roy. Get your hands dirty.
Admittedly, this just might be me, but
Call it
fate, call it luck, call it karma.
If that is how you behave when you provide a public service, someone people look to in times of distress, I only have a hearty
Fuck you too!
frankly, you had this coming to you. Good job, Roy. Hey, here's a hot take. Fuck you, Matthew.
Let's just calm down.
You fucking calm down!
This guy was totally in over his head. He had a great idea in theory helping troubled teens, but in execution, he gave a rage-crazy maniac access to murder tools, let two teens run around totally unsupervised screwing on random neighboring properties, and as much as I love Tommy Jarvis, he was entirely too prone to random physical assaults to just be let loose in the world. Screw this guy. He deserved what he got. I had a feeling this was going to happen at some point, and I'm sort of surprised it took 5 entries to get to an instance of this, but we have our first wrongly killed victim. Reggie the Reckless's grandfather, George, was kind, attentive, responsible, and caring. He broke no rules or even ran afoul of new rules I have been considering. He was completely clean. He obeyed all the rules, yet this still happened to him. He did not deserve this fate and will be forever remembered on our wrongfully taken list. We are now down to our final survivor, so starting with Tommy, he played a clean game. He broke no rules, and while he did not exactly show up as the badass he truly is due to being in recovery mode, he still does come through when it truly counts. Then we have Pam, who is hands down the weakest as far as final surviving girls go so far in this franchise. Instead of fighting back, she just crawls along the ground crying. Her one main offensive maneuver against Roy ends up being nothing because she forgets to check the damn gas. There is no doubt she would have been dead if it was not for the heroic actions of the true hero of Friday the 13th: A New Beginning. That's right, Reggie the Reckless, who despite being eager to have a beer, displays key survival instincts. He recognizes when it's time to just book it, but also when it's time to fight back, he runs over Roy. We will ignore the fact that he did not double tap and just run over Roy until his brains were leaking out on the ground, but when push comes to shove, he was the vital key that ended this night of terror. And now for the final tallies of Final the 13th, A New Beginning. The Reagan drug wars are apparently still in effect, with no hanging with Puff being the clear winner with 6 instances being broken, and really no other clear winners, but surprisingly, no one drank a damn beer in this movie. What the fuck? For the franchise totals at this point, still only 2 in double digits. Number 1, Keeping Your Pants with 25 times broken, and number 4, No Hanging with Puff, creeping up there with 18. Surely we only have to wait one more installment to get another thing in double digits, right? But until next time, have fun storming the castle.